Okay, ready?
Hi everyone, welcome back to the No BS podcast, and today we're going to be talking about content creation.
You guys have requested this quite a lot from us actually, but there was a comment in one of the previous episodes of someone specifically requesting some content creation tips.
Yeah.
And we've been doing content creation for a long time, so we've got some good, helpful tips and tricks to give you.
Yeah. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about just taking the pictures. We're going to talk about everything today. Also, you might be a new collection, which is available to shop now on the Nail Order website.
Ice Cream Van and Juicy Chew. So Ice Cream Van is our new 5 colour collection that we've just launched on Sunday, and Juicy Chew is our brand new summer scent. And if you think of something very chewy and delicious
From your childhood, maybe.
from your childhood, maybe you might find it in an ice cream van. That's what it smells like. Very tropical, very fruity, very, very nice.
Okay, let's just get straight into it. So,
That was kind of like a sponsor. The sponsor of this
please
week's episode
sponsor
is
us,
Nail Order. Okay, well, we start off with our, my first piece of advice is invest in a good phone.
Yeah. You don't have to do this, I would say. But if some people will say, oh, my photos aren't turning out exactly the way I want them, they're a bit blurry or the quality's not as good. You don't need to go out and buy a professional camera anymore. You could just invest in your phone.
Yeah. I would say that a good phone is definitely imperative if you want to be a content creator. It's like you're really only as good as your tools, So if you've not got that great of a phone with a kind of crappy camera quality, you're sort of setting yourself up for failure in that aspect, I think.
Definitely makes it easier for you, I'd say. It takes a lot of the effort out of taking the photo for you.
Yeah. So I've got an iPhone 16 Pro Max, which is like the newest one, I think. And I love that. Really crisp, clear quality videos and photographs. It's the best iPhone that I've ever had.
Do you know which one mine is? Mine's is like 2 generations older.
I think yours is a 13, maybe.
The difference in the quality of photos that I can get and that Laura can get are like very, very different. Sometimes you'll even make me retake the photos on your phone just because, and then when I take them, the difference is crazy.
Yeah.
So
we can take pictures of the exact same thing at the exact same location, doing the literal same method, and mine will turn out better because the camera quality is better.
Why is it important? I would say mostly because it looks more professional.
Yeah, if you want a professional looking image, you need a professional kind of camera for it. But like Saphira said, you don't need an actual camera to do that. I mean, if you know how to work a camera, you can afford a camera, then batter in. But for the sake of content creation, if it's going to be for portrait format videos and stuff like that, you may as well just be doing that on your phone anyway.
It's actually saving you money, really, if you think about it. So it's like girl math, and you should buy yourself a new phone.
Oh my god, yeah. And then you can use it for texting your friends as well. So that's the first tip that I have. But also, whenever you get a new phone, I don't know if you experience this, but you have to kind of play around with your camera settings to figure out what works on it. Every single time you get a new phone, it's like a different way of life.
They always change the way you can take photos and stuff, especially on the iPhone.
Mm-hmm. Each iPhone is different from the next.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like for Samsung, but
I'm such an Android hater.
Yeah, me too. No offense, sorry.
However, though, I can't hate too much because our content creator Coco.
Mm-hmm.
She does the nice aesthetic videos of the painting and the builder and stuff like that. She uses a Samsung for that.
Oh, well, maybe I'll take it back.
I don't know which one it is. I'll need to ask her. But
everything's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, there you go. This is not sponsored.
Not sponsored by Apple, Samsung, or Nail Order.
What was your next point?
Okay, so yeah, playing about with the camera settings. So you'll need to play about with the frames per second, whether or not you have it in 4K, HD, those types of things. You'll notice as well, certain iPhones have a macro lens. I try and stay away from that.
So I didn't know what a macro lens was, and I didn't understand that was actually ruining the quality of my photos. So it's literally just the little yellow circle that pops up on your phone.
Yeah, like the little flower, we call it.
Make sure that's off.
Unless you're doing really, really close-up shots, then stay away from the macro lens. What I actually prefer to do is just have my phone on its normal setting and then attach a separate macro lens over the top of it. It took me a while to find one that was really good. I did some deep dive researching. So I don't know, maybe I can get Chris to link it in Amazon or something. Maybe if he's got an affiliate link, he could make some money from it. Who knows?
It's actually really good. She's very precious about it. She's like, my macro lens.
My precious. It's just I take very good care of it. I like to clean it before and after, make sure it's nice, and because if there's a speck of dust, like that'll show up, but it gives you really nice close up shots, better than the macro lens can do on the actual camera that's built into it.
Just another thing about the macro lens is that it comes up automatically. It's not something that you can you have to make sure it's off, when it will come up when you're actually taking the photo, a little circle. So just make sure you tap it and then that'll be it off.
Yeah.
I'd say the same thing about if you're gonna whack a filter on it. So there's VSCO Cam. I really like that for filters. If you like to put filters in your photos, don't just whack it on there and leave it and that be done. Play about with the settings, change the saturation, or you can even change the how much of the, what am I saying? The
the brightness, the contrast.
Yeah, but the actual
temperature.
filter itself.
Yeah.
How much of the filter is affecting the photo. So play about it. If it, don't just whack a filter on it and be like, oh, that's perfect. I'm going to post that now on all my social media.
Yeah, that's what I do for my personal photographs. But for example, for pictures of nails, if it's for a business thing, I don't touch filters.
Yeah,
because it's going to change the colour of the nail. And if you're trying to get a brand to reshare that, then they're not going to want to reshare it if the filters made the colour look different and it's not a true representation of it.
That is a good way to talk about something that you guys keep asking us, and it's hard to get reposted on a nail order page.
I mean, this could really be a whole episode on its own though, how to get reshared.
Yeah. Why don't we give a couple top tips and then we could do another episode on that?
Yeah, for sure. Because see, the more I think about it, there's so many different things. It's more how to get noticed by a brand. You know what I mean?
How to get noticed by a brand, because when we find someone, it's usually because something's really stood out to us.
Mm-hmm.
And there are tips to do that, and there's things that we are specifically looking for that we love to share.
Yeah. So for getting reshared, say it's a story post, we don't reshare anything unless it's a full size story. So if you're just resharing one of your grid posts and tagging us, then that's not technically a story, so we don't reshare that. If it's cropped and then it's got this ugly kind of grey or brown background, we won't reshare that. Not that your picture's ugly, but the background that happens when you crop it into a smaller image. Keep it a full size portrait story image. Obviously we want to see us tagged and also the product that it is that you've used, so that then when we reshare it, we can put a shopping button on it, so that say you've tagged Blissful Angel Builder Gel, I can then put a shopping tag next to that and people can shop
I see
story.
Amazing photos sometimes and I'm I really want to reshare that, but I don't know what you've used. And I could just message you and say, what did you use? But also I should really know what you used, so I can't really be messaging you what did you use on your nails?
Yeah, it's there's loads to get through as well, so if we were messaging everyone back and forth asking these questions, you could just save us the time and then write on the thing what you've used, and then we can just immediately reshare it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, help us out. And also filters as well, I only reshare something if it's true to the colour, because there's no point in me resharing something Red Rock. This actually happened today. Someone tagged me in a beautiful set of Red Rock nails, but they looked orange. The lights obviously made it look a different colour. So then I don't want to reshare that, and then someone thinks that's what the colour looks like, and then they buy it and they get something different from what they were expecting.
So annoying. Yeah. Is it probably good content as well?
I know. It would have been a beautiful photo to reshare. But yeah, there's loads of those types of tips. But in terms of actually content creation, which is what we're talking about today, we do have some more advice as well. So one of the kind of main things that I like to think about whenever I'm taking content is where it's going to be posted. So say it's a post for the Instagram grid or the website. I'll utilise taking the photo in square. And then you have that kind of rule of thirds. If you put the grid onto your camera, it's going to come up with the 2 lines down and the 2 lines across the way, kind of like a tic-tac-toe. And that helps you centre your subject matter and the centre of the image.
It makes it so much easier. And when I started, I must admit, when you kept telling me to put it in square, I was like, it's just the same thing, but it's not, because when I took photos of this collection the other day, I had it in square because I've kind of just started doing it anyway, and it put everything exactly level, so I could do those like tricks that you showed me, and it makes everything like, perfectly in line. Makes it so much. It does the work for you.
Yeah, the grid has that little level bar, so it goes yellow when it's completely straight, and you'll notice it starting to tilt. It's like a white bar that will tilt if it's not straight. So that helps keep you in check for when you're taking pictures of things to make sure it's
I
all
don't think I
even.
have that on my phone. I think that might be an
You know what?
advantage of a new phone.
Maybe
So
that is
buy
it.
that phone, girl.
Not spawned by Apple. But yeah, what was that? So like the rule of thirds. Yeah, just thinking about that and like thinking about your foreground, your middle ground, and background, and thinking about the placement of the item it is that you're taking the photo of, or is it a set of nails? One thing that I noticed with a set of nails is that a lot of the times there's loads of like hand or loads of knuckle, or like the knuckles are in focus, but you want to make sure it's the nails that are in the focus and the front and center of the image.
Yeah, that brings me on to an important point I think about content creation is like, what are you actually taking a photo of? Because some people will like take photos and like of their nails, for instance, they're a nail page and they're posting pictures of nails, but they've got all this random clutter in the background, and I think people like to see just a nice close up of the nails, and then that way they can literally just flick through and see what they like.
It's like a desk mat.
Yeah.
See, when I see a photo, a nail tech has taken their client's nails, but there's like a strange looking desk mat or like kitchen roll in the background, or they've got like butcher's gloves on. It's quite distracting.
It's really distracting, I feel, as well. And it does look so much more professional if you've just got like the hands. And not to say you can't get creative with it. Like, I love that. Have you seen that TikTok about the girl who's talking about taking photos of girls holding stuff to promote the nails?
So clever.
And I love it. And
we were going to do that actually, weren't we?
Getting creative with your photography and maybe having props and stuff in your salon is nice, but then it would just be like maybe holding a wine glass or like
I seen someone doing it with a Labubu.
A Labubu.
Mhm.
Yeah, cute. Stuff like that. Keys, because obviously we're always holding our keys, but like not all just like random crap in the background. I think it just looks so much more appealing to look at, and people will actually want to like look at your content.
Yep, definitely. So yeah, making sure the thing that you're taking the image of is in focus, and when you're doing that with your camera, you'll notice there's like a sweet spot. So like if you're too far away, it'll be blurry. If you're too close, it'll be blurry. So if you just kind of look at it back and forth, then you'll notice that little sweet spot where it's in focus. It's harder to achieve this in videos because you're constantly having to make sure that you're in the exact same position, especially with nail content. It's very, very hard because if you start looking at the nails that you're painting, you might realize that you're like coming away from the camera as you're doing it. So it's important to be constantly looking at the camera, looking at the nails, looking at the camera, looking at the nails, making sure you're staying in that sweet spot, but also doing the nail art well, because what will happen is if you're too focused on getting good quality content, the nails are going to end up not looking great and people will critique you on that.
It's not easy, is it?
It's not easy. And then if you're too busy trying to get good nail art, you might end up with no footage because you've came away from the camera completely. So it's very, very difficult. It's not an easy job, and people that are content creators, I don't think, get as much credit as they deserve sometimes.
I think so too. I would highly recommend like any nail artist to get something like a tripod to help them take content. And you can get ones really cheap on Amazon. You don't really need to invest a lot of money in that. Our Luna Light, I believe
Luna
comes
Light.
with. Sorry, I'm just thinking. I'm picturing it in my mind. I'm sure it does come with an attachment to take content on, which is really good. It comes like obviously with the light, so it's kind of acts like a ring light in that sense, and you can film content on that. Which we use all the time.
By the way, I like that's my go-to. Like I don't like ring lights. I've patched ring lights a long time ago. As soon as we got the Luna Light, that's been my go-to choice for content creation.
I don't know if you've ever seen in any like vlogs or anything, Laura's makeshift content station upstairs is literally a table with like lots of different bits of card and things to take cool photos, but then 2 massive Luna lights.
Yeah.
And it does work.
I don't touch ring lights anymore. I just don't. I just feel like the Luna light is the best, and I use it all the time. Like if anyone is a content creator that's watching this, get the Luna Light. You don't even need to be registered on the website because it's not a pro only item.
Yeah, you can buy it on TikTok shop as well.
Exactly, like anyone can buy that. So I would highly recommend that. Yeah, because it's not obviously natural lighting is the best. So like if you're taking pictures of your clients' nails or whatever, taking them outside is probably going to be better.
Much better, but we do live in Scotland, so we don't have many nice sunny days. So
We don't have sun, period. Like we just we have crap weather all the time. It's always cloudy. The one time that we do get a bit of sun is what you'll see me sitting outside, like
yeah,
taking content.
we make all of our content outside. You
Yeah.
will actually see that, especially on TikTok, where we're just randomly in the car park, and you'll be like, "Why are they randomly filming outside?" It's because it's sunny.
It's the one sunny day that we're going to get out of the entire month, so we're going to take advantage of it. Like the Mermaid Sands video, I sat outside and did all that. Like,
but it turned out so nice.
and I knew that I had to take advantage of the weather when it came. So it's just there's loads of different variables that you need to watch out for.
My last tip on content creation is don't steal other people's work. Be original. Come up with your own ideas. I know it can be really difficult, especially because so many things have already been done. But just try and, I know as well it's like just taking photos of nails, but just try and come up with your own spin on it. Even if you spend the extra time and put like your logo on your photos or something, just try and make them look a wee bit more.
Oh, I would say don't do that.
Really?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't repost it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't repost it. Like earlier, I would be honest, earlier on I was going to be like, make a mood board, blah, blah, blah. And earlier on, Becca was like, I don't want to hear none of that. Make a mood board or any of that shit.
That is all the shit. Who's making mood boards?
I make mood boards. I make mood boards before I go on holiday.
These are working professionals. They ain't got time for that.
Don't have any more advice on content creation.
Right, we'll go on to editing tips and tricks, right? So editing, you don't need crazy software. You don't need Final Cut Pro. You don't need all this rubbish. CapCut.
I love CapCut.
Simple.
You don't need to pay for it as well. Obviously, there is a premium version, but you can still use it without the premium, and you can still get a lot out of it.
Yeah, I would say if you are like a professional content creator, get the premium. It's worth it. I love it.
100%. I love it. So easy to work with, and you can use it on your laptop.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to use it on your phone.
Well worth the money. But if you're just doing it like, you know, for yourself, then just get the free version. So yeah, it's really simple to use. Like if you're just doing basics, then you know you're just cutting and slicing things and putting them together. A top tip I have for editing is I see a lot of people over editing videos, especially when they're starting out. And I did this as well, starting out, putting loads of like transitions in a video.
It's so tempting though, isn't it? I want to make it look like there's fire and we'll slice this here and there.
There's just too much going on. Doesn't need to be that much going on.
My favourite one is when like people make the thing spin.
Yeah. Avoid ugly transitions like that as well, where it's like there's just so much going on at one time and your eyes don't know where to look and it's like an attack on the eyes. And flashing as well. Avoid lots of flashing. God forbid someone with epilepsy watch your video. Like
God forbid.
So yeah, just be cautious of over editing your videos. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes I won't use transitions at all. Sometimes it doesn't need it. Avoid speeding up your videos as well. I think it's much better to have short clips, like very short clips of a normal speed video than one long sped up video. Does that make sense?
I agree totally. Unless maybe you're trying to show a time lapse of something, I'd say.
Yeah, like that cleaning video I done was a time lapse.
Yeah.
But that was the point of the video. But if you're just
like,
trying to post a video of you doing a set of nails, I would avoid speeding that up.
Definitely.
Or
It is better to slice it.
Yeah.
It does obviously take more time, but
Mhm.
it makes your video look more professional overall.
Yeah. And then you can just keep in the important parts.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll clip out the little bits where the brush moves away and I go to dip in for another bit of product, so you're not sat there looking at a nail. You know, I'll just clip it to the brush being on the nail. And just making it more seamless and quick to look at.
Imagine when you filmed a video you couldn't cut out bits. So if you wanted to post a video on TikTok, it was the whole thing. It was the whole thing from when you woke up in the morning. Hi guys, I'm going to work today, so here's my 12-hour vlog of how to do nail art.
I bet you if we did that, someone would watch it. We should do a
Thank
full day
you.
vlog. Like
Thank
from
you
the
so
moment I wake up, I'll be one of those bloggers. I'll set a tripod up at my bed and I'll be like, oh, I didn't see you there. I just woke up. Come with me to start my day.
Love that.
I digress. And my final point, was when you're editing, if you feel confident, do a voiceover.
Oh yeah, for sure. Don't be shy to do a voiceover. Everyone hates their own voice. When I started doing voiceovers, I was like, it makes me feel sick. I don't want to hear my voice, but like,
Same.
no one cares. I put we put a reel up of mine on the nail order page, and I did the voiceover, and I thought no one's gonna want to listen to that, and guess what? It did quite well.
Yeah, it's got like 10k views.
No one commented and said I don't like your voice. So
I mean, someone might comment that, but you just need to not care.
yeah, you need to get over it in business. I think it doesn't matter as long as you're thriving and succeeding. It doesn't matter.
And also, if you do a voiceover, do captions as well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Captions.
Because you might be from somewhere like Scotland, and then someone from, give me a country.
Canada.
Help. Someone from Canada watches your video and they're like, what are they saying?
Yeah. But also it keeps the viewer engaged because it's something else to look at.
To watch, yeah. And if you have time for it, use different fonts. Don't just use the auto-generated captions. I did that with a video the other day, and it's so much fun for like each word to pop up on the screen.
You'd never catch me doing that.
It took me 3 hours.
No, I will always use auto-generated captions and then just go through and spell check it. What you done was very good.
Thank you.
But I could never, ever have the patience for that.
I won't lie. Like, see, towards the end of it, I was like, I cannot be arsed with this anymore.
It was really good, though. It was really good. This is a laboo.
This is a laboo.
It was very good. Well done. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
You're very good at content creation, I must say.
Thank you. I try my best.
You've definitely got more to give when it comes to nail order and the content creation side of things.
I just like to make fun videos.
Yeah.
I like, we're doing completely different things. Like, you love making nice, very nice looking
like ads almost.
Yeah. Why am I saying nice? Like nice. I do have a much larger
vocabulary.
I have a exquisite vocabulary. I just choose often not to use it for some reason.
Anywho,
my apologies.
And on that note, do you have any more tips before we finish up?
Have fun with it.
Yeah, obviously. That's the best tip ever. Like, have fun.
Have fun. Just like be yourself. Have fun, and go wild. Post every day.
Yeah.
People want to see consistent posting.
Yep.
So just keep posting.
Yep.
Unless obviously you're not getting any likes and you're doing something wrong, and maybe review your work.
Yeah. In that case, work on quality over quantity.
But I think that's it.
Yeah.
I hope that helps, guys.
We could definitely do a part 2 of that. And also feel like we need to go into a wee bit more detail about like how to get noticed by a brand, how to get reshared, stuff like that.
100%. I think How to Get Noticed by a Brand is a really good podcast. I think I would love to do that because I actually used to do social media work when I was
Okay, I'll say it. Saphira was an influencer.
I was a bit of an influencer, but like not in a serious way. And
she was, and she worked with brands, and she's too humble to say it. And she also used to get invited to events and bring me as a little +1, and it was really fun because I used to get goodie bags.
It was loads of fun. We got Do you remember that one time we went to a brand event and we got so much free stuff, and we were
It was like Christmas,
and I was shouting, "Look at all this free stuff!" And you were like, "Shh." The brand owner was like at the table behind us, and I was like, "Stay humble, stay humble."
Just because she did like blogging and nice photographs and good content and stuff.
It might actually be worthwhile within that episode if I could talk to you about how to approach a brand, how to speak to them, especially coming from someone now who works in social media. There are some messages that are a complete turn off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to say that you've done anything wrong. I always admire people for like shooting their shot, but there's ways to come across in your messages. Sometimes it just comes across as like, I don't actually know anything about your brand.
Yeah.
There's ways to word. And I think that would be interesting to talk about as well.
My favourite one is when they messages saying, "Hey team," and then they put another brand's name.
Team X.
Yeah, Team X. And it's like, you've so clearly just copy pasted that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It doesn't hurt to just throw a name in there.
Yeah. Let us know if you want us to cover any of those things. I mean, we're probably going to do it anyway, let's be honest. But I just want to know if people are interested in it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. And also share this with your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother,
You
your
know,
great
tech.
aunt. Send it to everyone on your WhatsApp account list.
Bye.
Bye.